Laziness will lead you to poverty. It is day 66 of recording every single day until 2025. I got my numbers totally mixed up on yesterday's video. I thought it was day 69 for some reason, but it is day 66 today, not 70. But the topic that I want to talk about is laziness. I have mentioned this scripture in the Bible before, but it was very scattered and unorganized in a sense. So I would love to just speak about it again and touch on the topic again, because I think it's a very important topic and a very needed topic, especially for this day and age of men who want to become successful, right? If you want to become successful, then there's no room for laziness. If you want to become successful, then there's no room for scrolling on social media for countless hours. If you want to become successful, then there's no room for playing video games, right? Anything that's not producing you money or producing you wealth or producing you some type of success is producing you laziness. Plain and simple, right? Because if you can generate wealth from playing a video game, then you're not really being lazy. You just figured out how to use something that would have been lazy and used it into a way to now generate you money and to become successful from it. So you have to figure out how to do that with every area of your life. If you love being on social media, then you need to figure out a way to gain wealth on social media. Instead of being the consumer, you need to start being the producer, right? If you're going to spend 5 hours on Instagram, do it making something and making content and producing instead of consuming. That's so important. If we are constantly consuming stuff, right? Even with our bodies, if we are constantly eating over and over again, it's unhealthy. And it's the same thing with the mind. If you're constantly just consuming the wrong stuff, it's going to make your mind unhealthy, right? They call doom scrolling on social media doom scrolling for a reason, because it's leading you to doom, right? It's rotting your brain. It is destroying your attention span. It is destroying your dopamine receptors. It's really doing nothing good for you. It is stripping you away from the real life experience that you deserve as a human being. So laziness will lead you to poverty. So you need to get on top of it now. And I believe that the Bible has so many good pieces of advice that we can apply to our lives each and every day. I think that there is a solution to every problem that we may face in this book if you look hard enough. So, laziness, like I said, I've talked about it before. I've talked about this verse before, but I really want to dive deeper into it. So, we are reading Proverbs chapter 6, but we are starting at verse 6. The title of this excerpt is called Laziness. It says, "Go to the ant, you slacker. Observe its ways and become wise. Without leader, administrator, or ruler, it prepares its provisions in the summer. It gathers its food during harvest. How long will you stay in bed, you slacker? When will you get up from your sleep? A little more sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, and poverty will pounce on you like a bandit." It's essentially saying, and it's so simple, right? But the more that you push your daily duties aside, the more that you push your responsibilities to the side, the more that you just decide, I will do it tomorrow, because that's that is the devil's number one seller, right? We talked about it in the other episode, saying that I'll just do it tomorrow. That is the devil's favorite line that he loves to hear people say. He loves when you say, I'll just do it tomorrow, because that means he can relax until tomorrow. That means he don't got to worry about you until tomorrow. And he knows that even when tomorrow comes, you'll just say the same thing and say, I'll do it tomorrow. So being lazy, right, and pushing it till tomorrow, poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. It's quite simple, right? As a man, we can't be pushing our responsibilities to the side. If you have responsibilities at work, don't push them to the next workload. Don't push them to the next shift that's coming in, to the new workers that are going to be covering you, right? Don't be doing that. That's not fair. Don't push those responsibilities onto the other people. Take responsibility. If you got to clean your room before you go to bed and it's 11:30 at night, get it done. If you have a video that you need to record but it's 11:46 at night, get it done. If you got schoolwork that you know you need to do, get it done. Don't go to bed feeling like you could have done more. Don't lay your head down until you have told yourself, I did everything that I could have done today. I feel good with it. If you don't feel like that, then it's not time to rest yet. And I'm not saying that there's never a time to rest, but the time to rest is when you get your stuff done, is when you can rest and feel good about resting. Don't just constantly rot and just not do anything. What are you gaining? God has given you a precious life. God has given you a precious life, and you're wasting it. And when I mean wasting it, and when I mean being lazy, right? I'm not talking about spending time with your family, right? Because that's often a misconception that people think, right? I can't hang out with my family because I'm too busy, right? Hanging out with your family doesn't mean you're lazy. You need family time. You need to hang out with friends. You need to have some type of social life, or else you'll become depressed in a sense, right? If you let your mind get to that. Laziness, what I believe, is isolation, and in that isolation, achieving nothing. It says it in the Bible, those who isolate themselves are foolish because they are not allowing themselves to be corrected by others. Therefore, they're foolish. It says it in Proverbs. So if you are going to isolate yourself doing something productive. Don't lay in bed for 5 hours and scrolling on YouTube or scrolling on Instagram. And then after you're done, oh man, I feel like crap. Well, you did that to yourself. And don't be surprised when you find yourself in 10 years down bad broke. Because if you spent 10 years doing that crap, it only makes sense that there's someone out there working harder than you. It only makes sense because you're simply just wasting time doing nothing. You did it to yourself. Nobody's going to drag you out of bed for you. Nobody's going to tell you to get to work. Nobody's going to tell you to go do your skincare routine. Nobody's going to tell you to go to the gym. Nobody's going to tell you to eat healthy. That is fully up to you. Your life is yours. Nobody else got the time to be caring for themselves and you. You're a grown man, a person. I don't care. You are grown. Stop waiting for somebody to get you up off your butt. And stop waiting for the next motivational video to pop up on your feed they have to go do something. Stop waiting. If you hear this now, all right, literally click off the video. Stop waiting for the next moment. Stop waiting for the next opportunity. You make the opportunity. You make the moment. Make it happen. Stop being lazy and stop cheating yourself, man. Stop cheating your life. Stop cheating your experiences. Stop cheating yourself out of happiness. Because that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. People don't realize it, but when you're lazy, you're slowly killing yourself. You're depriving yourself of true happiness. You're depriving yourself of true dopamine. You're depriving yourself of reaching your full potential. Is that really what you want to be? Someone who never reached their full potential because you couldn't get your butt off the couch? Seriously? I want to read another verse that I feel like goes hand in hand with this. It is Proverbs 28. We're still in Proverbs. It is Proverbs 28, but it is verse 19. It says, the one who works his land will have plenty of food, but whoever chases fantasies will have his fill of poverty. What does this mean? Get to work. When you get to work, you will get results. When you simply start putting in the work, you will get results. But if you're constantly thinking, man, what's the next big thing that I could do? How can I become rich quick? Man, let me get into drop shipping. Let me do all these things, but then you never take the action. Man, I want to get abs. Dude, I want to become strong, but then you never go to the gym. Stop fantasizing about what you want to become and just make it a reality now. Every moment that you are wasting on trying to think of how to become successful is another moment that you are losing. Because you are just dwelling in your fantasies. And there's a difference between planning and then just straight up fantasizing. Stop fantasizing over the thought of success and start chasing after it, right? Stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow. Stop waiting till tomorrow. Start now. I don't care what time it is. I don't care what you have today. Start now. I said it in the other video. I have something on my mirror, and I have two lines with two things. It says losses and wins. And under each day, I mark what day was a loss or a win. And what is most humbling is when you're real with yourself and you see that you have more losses than wins. My goodness, I feel like crap. But you got to get to work. You got to do something about it because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. Stop fantasizing about everything that could be and just make it a reality. We're on the topic of poverty. Let's keep going. It says in 22 on the same chapter 28, it says verse 22, a greedy one is in a hurry for wealth. He doesn't know that poverty will come to him. So many people. I've seen it firsthand. So many people trying to do this get rich quick scheme over and over again, right? Get quick rich. Let's break it down. You want to get quick rich because you're too lazy. And you're spending so much time trying to think about how to get quick rich. And now you're fantasizing. And now you're trying to get quick rich. Okay, you found something that kind of works. But the thing is, fast money, right, doesn't last long. It comes and it goes. Why? Because it's quick. Because you're trying to get quick rich. There's no longevity behind it. You're trying to just sell a product that's trending for 2 months, and now after 3 months, you're broke. You're right back where you started because there's no longevity behind it. Because you're trying to figure out a quick scheme. It says here, one who is in a hurry for wealth, poverty is coming for him. You got to stop trying to think of the next thing that could just, man, what can get me rich tomorrow? What can get me rich right now? Start thinking for the long term, right? Because the fact of the reality is when you're starting from nothing, right? Because those who have money, they can get rich quick, right? Because those who have money can make a product and just sell it instantly and sell an entire stock. And man, they just got real rich real quick, right? Because they got a following. But if you're down here average, right? You're just trying to start it out, that's most likely not going to happen. So you're spending most of your time fantasizing about it. And that's also going to lead you to poverty, right? We just said it. You got to think about the long term. Stop trying to cheat yourself out. Stop trying to cheat the system. Stop trying to do everything as fast as you possibly can because you're too lazy to go through the process. Stop trying to look online for some fat burners that are going to shave off some weight, right? So that you don't have to put in as much work into cardio, right? Because the same thing with that is that the weight will just come right back. Why? Because you didn't work for it. And that's why money leaves so quickly if you earned it quickly because you didn't really work for it. You didn't really earn it. You didn't really earn it. I want to end it out on this last verse because honestly, Proverbs is just so good. If you have not read Proverbs yet, man, you are missing out. Proverbs right here in the Bible, the holy word of God. I don't care who you are. You could probably reach it anywhere. I know that there's some countries in the world that don't allow it. I understand that. But majority of people have no excuse to not read the Bible, at least in the U.S., right? So I'm going to end it on this note. It says in verse 25, we're still on chapter 8. It says, a greedy person stirs up conflict, but whoever trusts in the Lord will prosper. The one who trusts in himself is a fool, but one who walks in wisdom will be safe. The one who gives to the poor will not be in need, but one who turns his eyes away will receive many curses. When the wicked come to power, people hide, but when they are destroyed, the righteous flourish. When living this life and trying to make your way up through success, you have to find trust in God. You have to find trust in God. Absolutely, you can become rich without God. I'm not saying it's not impossible, right? Because you got another side of the spectrum. You got the devil who will get you rich quick, no doubt about it, right? But if you want to really do it the right way and instead find wealth in the world and instead find it in God, right? Because we shouldn't be trying to find wealth in this world is temporary. Our work church say it all the time. This world is temporary. It's not going to last forever. So instead of placing your overall wealth in something that is temporary, place it in something that is eternal, God. Place your trust in God and let him flourish you. Let him help you. Let him prosper you. Because if you try to just depend on yourself, you are a fool. Plain and simple, you're a fool. If you are telling yourself automatically that you are the smartest person in the room, you are in fact the most stupidest person in the room. If you can sit in front of an audience and say, I can't gain any type of wisdom from any of these people, you are the dumbest. It's as simple as that. If you try to do this on your own, you will fail. You need to find trust in God, and you need to stop being lazy because God has given you this life for a reason. You need to stop being lazy. You need to stop fantasizing. You need to stop being greedy. You need to stop trying to do things quick. You're a man. Grow up. It's time to grow up. The time is now. Right here, right now. The time is now. Stop wasting your time on quick things. Stop wasting your time on stupid fantasies. Just get to work. Put it in motion. Keep it in motion. Get to work. That's all I got. Day 66. Yes, I hope that is correct and I didn't mess it up again. Of recording every single day until 2025. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios.